And a very pleasant good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Tornado Talk, where we talk all things Brevard College athletics. And glad you're able to join us on this Monday evening. Before we get started with tonight's show, I do want to thank our sponsors, Arby's, Brevard Orthopedics, BSN Sports, Cooper Construction, eGolf Ford of Brevard, Hampton Inn, Ingalls, Jets Pizza, Pepsi, Triangle Stop, and Young Transportation. Well, as we typically do this time of year, we'll be talking a lot of hoops and have with us once again head coach of the men's basketball program here at Brevard College, Coach Lee Burgess. Coach, thanks for joining the program.
Absolutely. Always fun to be here, so appreciate the invite.
Well, a interesting weekend, and probably most all of them are going to be interesting in one way or the other in this highly unusual season. Games originally scheduled for Friday and Saturday ended up getting played Saturday and Sunday versus Maryville, one of the top teams in the USA South Conference. As far as the scoreboard goes, Tornadoes, on the losing end, but certainly I know the team went through a lot of adversity this week and able to put up some big efforts, Coach. So would love to kind of big picture, sort of tell our audience about the weekend.
Yeah, it's been an interesting couple of weeks for our program. So shortly after the Greensboro game, we had a couple positive COVID cases on our team, and that sent the whole team into quarantine. And then beyond that, on our way out of quarantine, we had another positive test, which caused 4 guys to stay away from the team. So we didn't get back on the practice floor until the Wednesday prior to these games that we just played, after having been off for a little over a week, and certainly not at full strength. And so it was odd. We definitely had to shuffle some guys around and get them caught up to speed in a very short period of time with very little practice, practice preparation. So, talk to the guys about, hey, know that we don't have our full complement of players here. It's an opportunity for other people to kind of step up and, show everybody what they can do. And really, I just wanted to take some steps forward from our Greensboro game. Last time we talked, we had said we felt like we got better from first half to second half against Greensboro, and now we just want to continue that development because we've got such a new team that these game reps, there's no substitute for them. And I felt like we did accomplish that with a lot of our guys. I think our guys are getting more comfortable out there. We had a handful of players have to log a lot of minutes these last 2 days. But again, those are game reps that they're gonna help with their timing. They're gonna help with their decision making. It's certainly gonna help with their conditioning level. I would have loved for us to have been able to, put up a little bit more fight than we did on Sunday. I won't say it directly to our guys. I don't know if they're listening, then I guess I am saying it directly to them. Some of that is to be expected coming off of Saturday, logging so many minutes of the quick turnaround. Again, not going to be an excuse that we lean on, but we do have to keep a realistic picture of what our guys had to endure these last couple of weeks, being in quarantine, not able to go exercise, not able to get up shots, not able to practice together as a group, and then finally getting back out there on Wednesday with basically half of our team. That's an odd thing that we usually don't have to deal with in a basketball program. But being where we are with the pandemic, it is what it is. And so, we want to be about improvement, want to be about growth. I did find some areas that we are getting better in, and certainly have plenty of areas that we can continue to improve.
And Coach, there was that relatively last minute schedule change as well. And, I know, that's something that, you're aware of that could happen at any moment as far as the schedule being turned upside down. This one wasn't that dramatic, it was, just a change in the, day of the game, but you were still playing the same opponent. You didn't have to change travel plans or anything like that. But that being said, can you kind of take us through that process and maybe how things changed once you received word that the games would be delayed 24 hours?
Yeah, for me, it was a very stressful day and a half. We with all of the testing protocols in place, some of these you're at the mercy of other people not even really affiliated with your college, with your school, with your athletic department to get results back. And so it was a waiting game to get these test results back. And as a coach, I mean, I'm trying not to bother the people here or elsewhere. Hey, do we know yet? Do we know yet? Do we know yet? You're just trying to prepare, because it is so odd. Again, we don't deal with this. It's we practice on Thursday, pointing to the game Friday night, and then you wake up Friday morning and you're not sure if you're going to play, and then it gets to be lunchtime and you're still not sure if you're going to play. And then you bump the game to a couple hours later to hopefully be able to play. And then a couple hours later, you find out you're not playing on Friday. It just, you gear yourself up for something mentally, and the adrenaline starts to kick in, and then just to shut it down, like that, it's something we, again, don't usually have to deal with in college athletics. And so we got our guys back together on the practice floor. That was an odd practice. You think you're going to be showing up to the gym to play a game, and instead it gave us another opportunity to just fine tune some things for the game prep, which was nice. I mean, we definitely need all the practice time we can get, but at the same time, it definitely is a mental shift. We just talked to our guys about, hey, let's worry about the things that we can control. We cannot control when these results are going to come back. We cannot control those kind of things. We need to be ready when that time comes. And we know it's not going to be tonight when we were practicing on Friday, and let's just get ourselves ready to go on Saturday. I'm thankful that we were able to play the games. Again, having to punt the Covenant weekend because of some COVID issues, definitely did not want to have to punt this one as well. Our season is in such a condensed window. There's very limited chances and opportunities to reschedule things. So I wanted to really, do everything we possibly could to be able to play this weekend and not let this weekend go by.
And now that some home games have been played here at the Boschmer Gymnasium, albeit without spectators, can you tell us a little bit about what that experience has been like as far as playing in a relatively empty gym, a more sterile environment, where it might be tougher to get the student athletes excited without the crowd noise? I mean, the Boschmer Gymnasium in past years has created a amazing home court advantage, the way the students come out and represent there, and that's a big shift as well.
It is, and we definitely it is a different environment. When some big plays are happening and you hear that student section get going, and our Tornado Club sits right behind my bench, and they hear them get going, it's a lot of fun, and we do miss out on that experience. I think the I don't really notice it much during the game. That there's not a lot of fanfare or anything like that. I don't notice it before the game. It is different, like right before the game during warm-ups, just to be out there with the teams warming up. That is a different experience. I can say that really I did notice it during the game. There was a situation I wasn't real happy and kind of slammed my grease board down on the court. You can just kind of hear it echo through the gym with nobody. I'm like, oh, that was a little louder than I'm used to. So noticed it then, but that's about the only time I noticed it during the game, that we don't have it there. I'm sure it's different for our guys, and we are definitely looking forward to the day, hopefully soon, when we can get our home fans back and help give us some more energy.
Yeah, on behalf of all of NATO Nation, we all hope that day comes sooner rather than later. And now looking ahead, Coach, at least the way the schedule looks on paper, as of now, a off weekend coming up, but even that could change. So suddenly, a week that you plan on, one of just prep and maybe, rest and getting guys back and eligible and that kind of thing. Suddenly you might have to play a game even this weekend. That's just the nature of this USA South Conference schedule in flex due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
It is. The off weekend is coming at a great time for us. We're going to get 5 of these 6 guys hopefully back midweek this week, where we can have some practices starting Wednesday, Thursday with really our whole group back, and be able to practice through the weekend to get ourselves ready for our next scheduled game. So that is great. Now, because we bumped the Covenant series, if Covenant's opponent goes down before these games this weekend, then we will probably bring Covenant here to go ahead and make up the games the 2 weekend games that we had to punt from last weekend. And yeah, that's the nature of it. We won't know that till probably Thursday night, Friday morning. So can we throw something together that quickly? I know both teams will try to. That doesn't mean we're going to get to. But yes, things can change that quickly in the type of season that we're in right now. Those opponents can change at the snap of a finger. So, I think either way is going to be beneficial for our team. Like I said, that extra practice time is coming at a great time for us to not have to worry about another game right now this weekend, just getting our team back. But if that opportunity presents itself, I think there's going to be some benefits to that as well. Again, just wanting to get our guys as many games as possible. It's half the games that they usually get to play. We've been back on campus since December 28th. Our guys made a lot of sacrifices around Christmas time to come back, to be able to practice, to be able to play games. And so I feel like we owe it to them to do everything we possibly can to play as many games as we possibly can, even if I don't necessarily think that our team is in the best place right now, just what we've had to deal with COVID to play these games. I know that this is the reason our guys came back. This is what they want to do, and we want to give them that opportunity to play.
If folks weren't able to tune in this weekend, Game 1 was on Saturday, 88-63, the final. David Seeley, who was on the show a couple weeks back, led all Tornadoes with 15 points, hit a pair of three-pointers. And Michael Peters, big night, 14 points in just 18 minutes of action. Also, Laji Samora, who was also a guest on Tornado Talk a couple weeks back, in double figures. Scoring. As far as those outputs on Saturday, Coach, can you tell us a little more maybe about those three and what they brought to the table?
Yeah, they had great performances on the offensive side, and that's one of the areas of improvement that we see. It's getting more comfortable with how we play offensively. All three of those guys, Michael and Laji are brand new with us, and David did not play very much last year. So all three of those guys are getting, their really first taste of game action in our program. And just to see the comfort level of being able to operate within our offense and be able to score the ball efficiently from the Greensboro game to that game on Saturday was a great step forward. Michael Peters made a couple threes, which was great to see. He's got that kind of ability, had a couple putbacks around the basket. You mentioned Dave with his couple threes, and he scored some around the rim. Laji didn't. He scored it well around the basket. I think he made a three in the first game, shot it better in the second game from the arc. He's got a lot of ability to do that. So, we still got a lot of improving to do, but we can see some areas where we did get better from game 1 to games 2 and 3.
And the Sunday game, 86-53, the final. Samora, as you mentioned, 12 points, 4 of 8 shooting, shot 50% from the field, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Hayden Cassell, who's going to be a guest on the show a little later in just a few minutes, indeed, here this evening, 9 points, 5 steals, and Seeley again with 6.6 assists and 5 rebounds. But the ball just wasn't dropping through the net as much on Sunday, right, Coach?
Yeah, Sunday was a step backwards offensively that I talked to our guys about. We didn't do a good enough job of really. Maryville dictated to us how we were going to run offense more on Sunday than they did on Saturday, and that's something that we were not mentally tough enough to say that you can. To the other team, you can play hard and you can get into us, but we're going to be determined to get the kind of shot that we want. I think you can look at the stat sheet and see. We made 17 field goals. We had 13 assists. That's how we are effective when we're staying in system, when we're sharing the ball. We don't run a one-on-one type of ISO fast break kind of chaos game. There's a lot of ways to play this game. And so there's no one way that's better than the other, but the way we play, the way we practice, we want to get our practice into our play. And that's not a chaotic one-on-one ISO type of stuff. And I thought we settled for too much of that. And that's why our struggles were offensively what they were. With 17 made field goals, 13 assists, I think that should speak to our guys that, okay, the way we do score the ball is to share it, and that's what we need to do a better job of. We got a lot of work to do defensively as well. I'm not saying offense was the issue, but I did feel like we took a step backwards offensively from Saturday to Sunday.
Well, next up for the Tornadoes, a trip to Piedmont, at least as the schedule shows as of now, February 5th and 6th. Stay tuned to those social media channels and at bctornadoes.com in case anything changes on the schedule. Coach, before I let you go, we're going to bring in our student athletes onto the program, and as we welcome in Hayden Cassell and Alex Wesig. Before we get into kind of handing the baton to these two gentlemen, Coach, and Hayden, I think you'll want to get involved in this little shout out. Russell McKay of Team Impact, and a frequent viewer of Tornado Talk. Coach Burgess, and then I'd love to hear from Hayden as well. Would you like to send a message to young Russell McKay?
Yeah. So I don't know if Russell is listening. I know that we get some messages from his mom and dad, and sometimes they're chiming in. So just in case he is chiming in or listening in tonight, I wanted to make sure that we let Russell know we miss him. Hope he's doing really, really well. It's been we've missed seeing him. We got a lot of new faces on this team, Russell. So I'm looking forward to when you're able to get over here and meet these new guys. Hayden's still around. Your buddy's still around. So you definitely be able to see him. But we got a lot of other cool guys on the team, too, that we look forward to introducing you to hopefully here soon. So just want to tell Russell hello if he's listening in.
Hayden, anything to add there for Russell?
Yeah, I sure do miss seeing Russell on the bench and stuff. And, anytime that Russell would come to a practice or game, it would always just he would always have a smile on his face, and it kind of uplift our spirits a little bit. So, Russell, I hate that you can't come to any games, but we're looking forward to seeing you again.
Very good. And Coach Burgess, before we let you go, Hayden Cassell, junior forward, a lot of Tornado fans are familiar with Hayden in his third year with the Tornadoes. And Alex Wesig, a newcomer to the Tornadoes from Lawrenceville, Georgia, Mountain View High School, a transfer from Catawba College. Coach, can you tell us a little more about these two student athletes?
Yeah, so Hayden is our most experienced guy in the program. Has really taken a large leadership role with this group, along with David Seeley, and done a really good job leading the group. He's a very hard worker. He's definitely an intangible guy on the floor when he needs to be on the floor, leading the group with his voice. Knows how we want to play, knows what kind of program we want to have, and when you have those kind of guys that are bought in and really trying to filter that down to the younger guys, that's something that coaches really, really appreciate. So definitely glad Hayden's in our program, has stuck with us, and look forward to another couple of years with him leading the group. And then Alex Wesig has started all three games for us as transfer from Catawba. Very good player, very skilled offensively, good shooter, great moves around the basket, plays really, really hard, and is one of our more vocal guys too. So you have two of our more vocal guys on the team here on Tornado Talk, so they may extend past 7:30 if you give them an open-ended question. But Alex is a really good guy to have in the program. Wants what's best for the team, as both of these guys do. We're fortunate to have him and look forward to continuing to develop him, expand his role on the team as he gets more comfortable with what we're doing on the floor.
Vocal is definitely good for the format here at Tornado Talk. Coach, thanks for joining the show this evening. All the best this week in preparation for Piedmont or whoever else might be coming from the USA South Conference. And thanks again. We'll be seeing you around the box.
Absolutely. Good seeing you guys.
And there he goes, head coach Lee Burgess. So joined once again here by two men's basketball student athletes. We have with us junior forward Hayden Cassell in that top right position, the junior from Kingsport, Tennessee, Dobbins Bennett High School. Hayden, thanks for joining the show.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
And Alex Wesig, as coach was introducing him to NATO Nation, the junior from Lawrenceville, Georgia, Mountain View High School, transfer from Catawba College. Alex, thanks for joining the program.
Thank you guys for having me.
Well, it's great to have you two on the show this evening. And, would like to kind of just hear each of you sort of, your overall impressions of this highly unusual season, and you can go whatever direction you like with this. You guys have been working really hard ever since the fall through the holiday break. Finally got to play some games, these last few weeks, but, everything sort of in flex too. Schedules change, the roster changes due to protocols and things like that. Obviously it's a strange time for everybody involved in athletics, but you guys are doing a great job kind of persevering through it all. But I would like to hear from you guys sort of what it's been like in this highly unusual season. And Hayden, we'll start with you.
It's definitely been a different year for sure, just because of how COVID and stuff really kind of altered our season. So we've been practicing since October 2nd, and usually our first game is somewhere at the end of October, early November. But it really changed us because the first game wasn't until mid-January, and usually for Christmas we have about a week off, and we had a whole month off this week. And so we practiced for about 2 months, had a whole month off, and that kind of messes up your routine and stuff of each of the guys on the team and coaches. But once we got back from Christmas break, everybody got right back to work. We had to pick up on our conditioning level a little bit and stuff to try and get ready for the games. But me personally, I didn't get to play the first game because I was injured, and so not being able to play kind of hurt me inside, but I was just so happy and blessed that we was actually able to have a season, and because I know a lot of college teams don't even have the chance to play. So I'm just really thankful that we get to have a season and play some games.
And Alex, how has the experience been yourself? New to the Tornadoes, and you came during a year that everything, is certainly unprecedented.
Yeah, I think we got kind of lucky with having this year as kind of like a bye year, if that makes sense. But I see it as like a building block to the team, since we're such a young and new. Everybody's mainly new besides some of the returners. So I see it as a year of being able to build and come back the next 2 years and really make a name here at Brevard.
And Alex, if we can stick with you a little further, you've been here now for the fall semester and in a couple weeks here in the spring semester. How are you liking it here at Brevard Colleges thus far? Overall, the student experience.
Well, with COVID, it's kind of hard to see everybody and talk to everybody and get to know everybody's name because I want to stay healthy for the team. But besides that, I actually really like it here at Brevard. I think the scene is great. The distance to classes I actually enjoy because I used to have to be there at class like 5 minutes. I could leave my room in 5 minutes, but now I have to actually prepare and be there and go to classes, and the class experience is just really nice.
And the mountains of North Carolina, a little different than Lawrenceville, Georgia.
Yeah, it's a little colder, a little more wind than Lawrenceville, but Georgia is a bipolar state with its weather, so.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Now Hayden out of Kingsport, Tennessee, similar in a lot of ways to Brevard, North Carolina in terms of elevation and things like that. When you welcome guys like Alex, are there some tips and things you tell them about, hey, here's how to best enjoy Brevard College and the surrounding area?
Well, the first thing I think I actually told Alex before we moved in was I told him to be sure and bring a rain jacket to Brevard because of how much it rains here. And I said, you better get used to it. And, he was like, well, it doesn't say it's going to rain. I said, well, just trust me, bro. It's going to happen at some point during the day. So. Yeah,
great advice. No doubt. Footwear is important. Watch your step when you're walking, in the athletic field area and that kind of thing. Great advice, Hayden. Now you mentioned that injury that sidelined you the first weekend, the first season opening game, ankle injury. Hayden, how's it feeling?
It's doing a lot better right now. I'm continuing to do rehab on both of my ankles, actually, just to strengthen the one that I did not injure and also my injured one. But I'm trying to work on my ankle strength and just the flexibility of it still. Most of the swelling's gone down, so everything should be good. And like I said, I'm just going to keep coming to the training room, hour before practice or so, and keep working on it and just trying to take care of it the best I can.
And as Coach mentioned, Hayden, you're very much the veteran of this squad. So many new faces, but you guys have been working hard to gel as a team. Can you kind of tell us a little bit, what that has been like? You taking on more of a leadership role?
It's been a little difficult. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, just because of we have like Coach Burgess said, only 2 or 3 returners or we have a couple of returners, and it's just different because everybody that's transferred in and all of the freshmen that have came in, they haven't really played games with Brevard yet. And so they don't know our offense to the point that they need to. And we've came a long way since October 2nd. But if you watch the games, you can still tell that we still have a long way to go, but we're definitely headed in the right direction. And just to get used to playing in Brevard and in our system, and of course playing together and getting our chemistry where it needs to be, is just going to take some time.
Yeah, and Alex, if you can touch on that a little as well. You guys were in so many ways brand new to each other when you met each other, back in August and September when you arrived at campus for the fall semester. Can you talk about how you guys have grown as a team and gotten to know each other better through this whole process?
I think just by being around each other as much as possible. I know the freshmen are really close, and in my dorm half the basketball guys are at. So we're really close with each other. We're always in each other's rooms talking sometimes. I mean, we follow the COVID policies, obviously, so we might be out in the hallway, but we'll still be out hanging out and around, talking to each other, going out to get food, doing what we can to stay close and checking up on each other all the time.
And Alex, if you can tell us a little more kind of about your background and, whether in basketball and also perhaps your academic interests, can you kind of tell us your journey, how you found Brevard College or Brevard found you?
So I was looking for a school after my second year at Catawba, and I was looking around being closer to home, and Brevard actually reached out to me with Coach Leathers. He sent me an email, and I just started talking back and forth with him. And it's not actually too far away from home, so I decided to come here, which I do really like. And now, academic-wise, I plan on being I'm an exercise science major, looking to see what I can do with that, and mainly trying to go to chiropractic if basketball doesn't fall through.
Very good. Certainly a strong major here at Brevard College, and you've got that new field house as a teaching spot for that exercise science program. So certainly a great asset there as well. Hayden, tell us a little bit about your studies.
I'm also an exercise science major as well, so that's another thing that me and Alex have in common. What I would like to do is over the summer, I'm looking to get an internship somewhere, either back home or here, with physical therapy. And I'd really like to become a physical therapist when I get older. And so I know I'm going to have to probably go to grad school somewhere. And since I'm a junior this year, it's getting to that point in my academic career where I'm going to have to start looking at grad schools and getting a really good resume together. And so I have to start getting the ball rolling with that.
Great stuff. Well, I appreciate you guys kind of letting us know your ambitions in terms of those academics and what you may want to do post-graduation. Before I let you go, I want to circle it back to basketball and have a little fun with you guys. NBA, let's talk a little NBA.
Yeah.
I want to hear your favorite team, and also, is there a player when you were growing up that you modeled your game around or that you kind of idolized even a little? Alex, you want to get us started?
So I have a couple players, but the first person that I modeled my game around was actually Kevin Love, just because I played the post position. I just wanted to be able to shoot threes just like him. But as I developed more guard skills, I started to follow around Kyrie, and just because of how he's so shifty with the ball. As of right now, Atlanta is not my favorite team. I do not go for Atlanta teams just for the fact that we have a terrible curse. And so I kind of just follow around my favorite players around wherever they're at is the team I kind of go for.
So you followed Kyrie to Brooklyn?
Yes, sir. I think it's a great pickup of who we got now, but I'm not going to say like I'm a big bandwagon. I just say I'm a Kyrie fan.
Very good. And Hayden, how about yourself?
I'm a Milwaukee Bucks fan. I became a Bucks fan probably about 4 or 5 years ago when the Celtics put us out in the Eastern Conference Finals. Been cheering for them ever since. And I'm not just a Giannis fan. Like, I know most of the players on the team. I'm still trying to get to know a lot of them this year because we had a lot of trades and stuff this past off season. But growing up, I just watched a lot of everybody, just learning different things that I could, put into my game, whether that be in the post or on the wing, and just, different moves that I could learn and try to influence into my game and so I can master them.
Well, any fan of Giannis is a fan of NATO Nation. If you remember a couple years ago, Giannis gave the Tornadoes a personalized message, and ever since he grew a lot of his fan base in these parts. Ever since that viral video through NATO Nation. But hey, guys, it was great getting to know you both a little bit further. Before I let you go, I do always like giving you the opportunity. If there's anybody you want to thank who's helped you along the way on your journey, anyone you'd like to give a shout out to, the floor is yours. Alex, any shout outs?
I just want to thank my family and thank God, of course. They really helped me and pushed me in the way what I do today and just keep me motivated.
Very good. Thank you for that, Alex. And Hayden, anybody you'd like to say thank you to?
I want to give a special thank you to my family, especially my parents, my grandparents. If it wasn't for them, then I wouldn't really be in the position I am today. And I'd love to thank, my Lord and Savior, Jesus, because, he gives me so many blessings that, I look over a lot and I just, don't acknowledge them all the time. And then last but not least, all my close friends here at Brevard, you know who you are, and a lot of people, there's a lot of negative energy that can be going around with different results of how your games go or how you act outside of school. And so all my close friends they know who they are, and they help keep me sane for most of the time.
Well done, gentlemen. Well, appreciate you guys both coming on here to Tornado Talk. We'll be following the men's basketball team every step of the way this season, and continue the hard work, and can't wait to see you guys back on the court. Thanks again for joining the show.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, Hayden Cassell and Alex Wesig, those two members of the Brevard College men's basketball team, as we welcome in our next two guests, and really looking forward to this portion of the program. And joining us now, Jose Fish Sanchez and also Amy Juarez. Jose and Amy, thanks for joining the show.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having me, Phil.
Well, the reason we have you two on, and longtime followers of the Tornadoes probably know these two already. Amy Juarez, a member of the women's soccer team, and Jose Sanchez, member of the men's soccer team, both seniors here at Brevard College. But the two of you participated in a really special opportunity, especially for students who are looking to get into the sports business. The two of you participated in the NCAA Division III Student Immersion Program, which was part of the NCAA convention. And when I say NCAA convention, I'm talking about the big, deal. This is out of Indianapolis. All the athletic directors, college presidents, conference commissioners, you name it, part of that NCAA convention. And the two of you were able to take part in this as part of this student immersion program. So would love to hear from each of you. Go on as long as you like. Tell us about the experience, what you learned, your favorite parts of it, and kind of shed some light to NATO Nation, what the immersion program and the convention was like. Jose, could you get us started?
Yeah, sure, Phil. I think it was a great experience. I learned a lot about Division III sports and Division III athletics, but also in the big worldwide NCAA organization. I got to meet over 30 to 35 other student athletes around the nation. I think it's great to meet and see how they're doing in this time of the year, this weird world that we're in tonight, today, and also connecting with all around the world prestigious speakers and very important people that gave their opinion of how athletics works in the intercollegiate experience as well as in the professional experience. I leave you that for Amy now.
Very good. Amy, thoughts on the experience at the convention?
Yeah, overall, it was a very fun experience. I didn't really know what to expect coming into it, but I think we learned a few things from each of the different speakers and even from the other student athletes that we were with. Most importantly, the thing is that no matter what we're doing, we should always do it like the best that we can, even if it's just like being a mentor in a little internship and just, going to get coffee, but always do it with the best that you can so they don't see it as a bad thing, I think that's the one thing that we took out of it, and our connections, just making good connections overall.
Now, Amy, was there one speaker or one session that, was most memorable for you?
Yeah, so the one that I really enjoyed was from Bill Baggett. I don't want to mispronounce his name, but he just talked to us a lot about building your picture. Like, people only are going to see the top of the iceberg. They're never going to see under what's, the big part. And we build that over time, and just in the professional world, you just have to always work hard and always wake up the next day like it's going to be a new day. It doesn't matter what happened yesterday. Just give it your all.
Same question for you, Jose Fish Sanchez. Was there, one speaker or one, session in the program that was most memorable?
I think I really share as Amy the Will Baggett conference or meeting, because also he had a huge experience. Like, he had worked on Uber, he had worked on the college football playoffs, as well as in other colleges. And I think he expressed to us what people are looking for in the athletic department, in the athletic business, and in the sports industry as in a whole.
Well, congratulations once again for being selected to this program. And its main design, its main function is to prepare students like yourself for careers in the sports industry, whether it's in coaching or administration, whether it's in college athletics or beyond. Would love to hear from each of you as far as your ambitions. Where are you looking to go following graduation? What are your, dreams, your goals? And Amy, if you could shed some light on kind of where you feel like you're heading into this sports industry.
Well, after post-graduation, I plan on getting my master's, and I plan on doing that overseas. Hopefully everything goes well and I can attend and just learn from a different perspective of other countries and how they see soccer and how they work around all the new tactics and everything like that. And eventually I want to be a coach and work in a big professional soccer academy or with a professional team, and just give my experience to them and try and help out the ones that are minorities like us as well and don't have good financial background that can fall back on.
Now, when you say overseas, are we talking Europe, Asia, somewhere else?
In Europe.
Europe, very, certainly, a hotbed, in terms of soccer, football. Jose Fish Sanchez, tell us a little bit about your thoughts, your plans post-graduation, and, your goals in the sports business.
Well, coming to my last semester, sadly, but happily too, I think what I wanted to do is work for a professional team. I don't have any sports, but I particularly would like to work on the soccer side, since my passion is since the sports I've played since I was small, as well as I don't close doors for any intercollegiate athletics department opportunity, as well as other opportunity that I can have around the industry of sports.
And each of you have put in considerable time in the very offices that you're sitting right now, the Brevard College Tornado Athletic Department. Jose, you had an internship with the athletic department, this past calendar year. And Amy, I know you're hard at work, working behind the scenes, helping everything hum around the athletic department. Amy, tell us a little more about your internship. What are you doing day to day? Let people in behind the curtain a little bit. And have you learned a lot?
Yeah, so basically I just help out with whatever is needed around here, if it's game day preparations or even if it's a simple flyer that's going to go in the locker door. But working with everybody here, it's been a new experience as well, and just seeing that everybody here does work hard, but none of the athletes, as myself, didn't like appreciate it as much. But being in here this past school year, it's opened up my eyes a little bit, and I'm thankful that I'm internshipping here as well.
And Jose, a valuable internship for you as well at the Brevard College Athletic Department?
Yeah, of course. I learned a lot over the past summer since was when I had my internship, the day-to-day operations. Also, I had the message or the information that we were not going to have a season, but also I got happy that they were postponing our season, so I was all around that, and also even helping the interns that are right now in the athletic department, as I helped once Amy to do one of her flyers, and I'm here to help, and hopefully I'll be around for as long as I can.
Well, on behalf of the athletic department, I want to thank you both. People like you are invaluable, to making an operation hum the way it does here. And thank you again for all your work behind the scenes. Now, Jose, you mentioned the season getting postponed, but the good news for both the men's and women's soccer team, it's coming. We've got the schedule set. Practice has begun during this spring semester. Each team had a very involved and, in some instances, intense fall practice session with a bunch of inter-squad scrimmages at Ives Lamel Family Field. Love to hear from you both. The soccer end of things, your senior season, hopefully going to get back there and playing before we know it here. Jose, tell us a little bit about the Tornado soccer team. Where are you guys at?
Well, I think we're working hard. We also had new players coming in this semester that we're trying to keep them inside our team, make them feel like a family, and pretty excited for my senior year. Pretty excited that we have the opportunity to play the USA South Conference playoffs and hopefully bring one of the first titles to Brevard.
Yeah, great note there, no doubt. First year that the Tornadoes are eligible for those USA South Conference championships, and those are on the schedule as well. Go to bctornadoes.com and you can see both the men's and women's soccer schedules and start to make some of your plans as well. Amy, tell us a little bit about the women's soccer team, where you all are at in your preparations.
Well, we haven't really had our first training session yet, but tomorrow is our first one. And I think if we work hard and we all really want it, I think, as Fish said, we can hopefully bring in a first title here as well.
Well, I wish you guys to have, the most prosperous possible final semester here in your careers at Brevard College. Before I let you go, and do want to read this note here from Athletic Director Miranda Nash. We appreciate you all so much. Thank you all for what you do for our department. Good luck this season. Make the most of it. Thank you, Miranda, for tuning in and for that message from the Facebook live chat. Before I let you go, if you guys can reflect a little for us, senior year, we're coming down the home stretch. Brevard College, what has it meant to you, being a student athlete here and, this whole experience of ultimately receiving your diploma, which you'll have in a few months from Brevard College. Can you reflect a little for us? Fish, get us started.
Yeah, sure. Personally, I feel this has been one of my best decisions coming to Brevard. Personally, being an international student, I didn't know that much about Brevard, but then after I got here, I got around the soccer team, got around friends, and also the schoolwork game in sync. And I think this has been one of my best 4 years all around my life. And I cannot thank more to Brevard. Thanks for everyone that has been around me. Thanks to prior seniors. And I'm looking forward for everybody that is coming to Brevard to enjoy the ride and have a good time here.
And Amy, reflections on your time here at Brevard College?
Well, sadly, I was only here for 2 years since I transferred in, but overall, it's brought me new opportunities being here and for the future. And just the professors and the coaching staff and my teammates and close friends as well. Just it's something that I'm always going to remember.
Very good. Well, Jose Fish Sanchez, senior midfielder on the Brevard College men's soccer team. He's from Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. And Amy Juarez, the midfielder, senior from the BC women's soccer team from Arlington, Virginia. These two student athletes are both business and organizational leadership majors set to graduate this spring. Before I let you go, anybody you'd like to thank, give a shout out to? Fish?
Personally, first, I want to thank the athletic department itself for giving me the opportunity to go to NCAA convention and also the opportunity to have that internship I had last summer. And I'll go this in Spanish now. Tía, tío, gracias por mucho, los quiero mucho, y igual a ti, papi y abuela. Un abrazo grande.
Beautiful. Well done, Jose Fish Sanchez. Amy Juarez, same opportunity for you.
As Fish said, thank you to the whole athletic department staff, Miranda, Stephanie, always pushing us to do better, and just Brevard in general. And of course, my parents and my close friends.
Very good. Well, these two student athletes just got done with a really exceptional experience participating in the NCAA Division III Student Immersion Program, part of the NCAA Convention. A very select group of student athletes were selected to this program, and these two were two of those. And actually, the second straight year Brevard College was able to represent at the NCAA Convention, Josh Romero and Diana Loaiza. So you guys have set a high bar. We'll have to see if we could pull it off again next year, 3 for 3. But thanks again. Congratulations to you both. Keep up the hard work. We can't wait to see you out there on Ives Lamel Family Field playing the game you love. And we really look forward to continuing to follow your careers as well as you head into the sports industry. Well, want to thank you, the audience, for tuning in tonight, and thank our other guests as well, head coach Lee Burgess of the men's basketball team, along with men's basketball student athletes Alex Wesig and Hayden Cassell. And want to make sure you tune into social media outlets that represent all things Brevard College Tornadoes, Instagram and Twitter at BC Tornadoes, Facebook and YouTube, Brevard College Tornado Athletics. Go to YouTube, hit that little bell to subscribe, and you'll receive all the notifications when the broadcasts and the shows drop on YouTube. And look forward to seeing you at another edition of Tornado Talk. We'll be here next Monday night at 7 p.m. on Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitter. Thanks again for joining the show. Go Tornadoes!